So, ladies, we are here today to break out from burnout to breakthrough. We want to reignite our spark, to feel alive again, to call into those things that we have forgotten we had. Our passion, our purpose, our energy. We want to go back there. So we will be talking about burnout, just understanding what is burnout and what is breakthrough and what is the difference between the two. Then we will come up with some strategies that will move you from your burnout to breakthrough. And I have 4 strategies I want to share with you. First of all is a reality check. You have to do a reality check. Then you have to find clarity, and you have to reinvent yourself, and you also need to build bridges. Along the way, there will be a gift somewhere. So please don't get tired and leave us. Please stay. We will have a small gift somewhere along the way. So it will be a surprise. So I won't say at what minute or at what time. I just want you to be here so that you partake from that gift. Great. Now, what is burnout? As we start. So burnout is that physical and emotional and mental exhaustion. Kuchoka. Yeah, you will allow me to use some Swahili. Kuchoka. Umechoshwa na vitu. You are tired. So that is what we want to ask ourselves. Am I exhausted? Am I exhausted? Are there areas of my life where I am exhausted? And this is not only about career, actually, because I'm more of a life coach than a career coach, although I have both. So even though the bigger part I'll be doing career, I'll also want you to be thinking about life in general, because actually, even if you develop career only and you're not developing yourself as a whole human being, then you'll still not be happy. So burnout can affect both men and women, but some studies have shown it is affecting women more. So that is why we are here, only as women, just to ask ourselves, what is this burnout, so that we know, am I suffering from it or not? What are kind of the symptoms that can tell you are burnt out? Number one is that exhaustion, the feeling of physically drained. You are just out of energy. That is one thing. You try to concentrate at work, you try to do your things, you look for the motivation you used to have, it is normal. That is one reason that, or one way to tell you that you are burnt out. There's also something we call cynicism. You no longer feel part and parcel of the company that employs you. You are detached, you are indifferent, you don't care anymore. They say this, they call for meetings, nowadays you even come late, you are not anymore bothered. So that is part of showing you that you are experiencing some kind of burnout. And then there is what we call the imposter syndrome. You feel always inadequate, incompetent. You are not able to express yourself fully at workplace, mostly because of power play. As women, we face a lot of that. So most people, you find they want to demean you just because you are a woman. And so you get so fatigued trying to please everyone. And for that reason, you play small, you dim your light, you silence your voice. Even when they ask for opinions, you are not there anymore. You're not giving any opinions because you're just out. You gave up with everything. So, and what causes this kind of burnout, especially in us women? Number one, when it comes to how we approach life and how we are treated at the workplace, you find we have more challenges and more barriers than men. For example, gender discrimination mostly affects women. We find there are pay gaps. You are working the same job with a guy, but he's earning maybe even double what you're earning, or maybe 1.5 times, and you don't know why. There are also glass ceilings. You're told this is the farthest you can go in this company. And sometimes there is sexual harassment. For me to give you a promotion, you have to come and be with me. And these things really make us so frustrated. And they put us in a place where we are feeling powerless. And that feeling of powerlessness is what we are calling burnout. Like you stop being motivated. It could be also that because of our too many responsibilities and unrealistic expectations in our families, at work, and everywhere. I don't know whether you have ever had this, but I remember my mom used to tell me that in our mother tongue, Kikuyu, that a woman only rests when she dies. I don't know whether you have ever had that. And you can imagine now what it means, that I am supposed to accept to be overworked, because a woman should never rest in this life. Whether you are sick, whether you are tired, it does not even matter how your workload was during the day. You come home, you are still expected to take care of children, take care of your husband, to take care of your, maybe you are also in education, maybe there are some other meetings you have at church, in the community, and you also need some time to do some exercising and everything for yourself. And you are expected to have all this, to do all this, because I don't know, maybe we are superhumans, but that kind of, we want to do everything, it is very exhausting. And that is where part of the reason we find ourselves emotionally drained and even physically drained. The other one is emotional labor. Emotional labor is us trying to be good to everyone. Since you were born as a lady, you are told even how to sit, how should you sit in front of men. You know, the way we are told you how to put your dress. You are told how to behave, some mannerisms. Like, people really care that you always portray the best kind of behavior and mannerisms. Now, the problem is that we are also human beings. We get angry, we get emotional at times, but because we are not allowed to show it, we harbor it inside. And for that reason, it is heavy on our hearts. We get so tired carrying, for example, even at home, even when you are very angry, you still have to smile with your children, you still have to smile with the husband. If the in-laws have visited, you cannot show them. It's like we are not supposed to be human beings. If you have ever watched a male boss versus a female boss, when male bosses get angry, you can see them even kicking something, even maybe the dustbin, or along the way, they will kick with their feet, or they will just drop things from the table, or that kind of a behavior is allowed for a man, but try to do that as a woman. And so as you deny yourself and your feelings, try to please everyone, you get so exhausted in the process because you are denying your feelings. You don't want to show them. The other one could be we get to work at places where sometimes you are feeling under challenged. You know you have a lot of potential, but because you are a woman, you are kept at the back. There was recently, the FKE, the Federal Kenya Employers, something like that, they did a certain survey and they were saying there is only 4% of Kenyan CEOs, only 4% is women. And it made me start thinking, does that mean we don't have the capacity to lead these big organizations? And of course we do, but who will promote a woman to a CEO level when there are men on the table? Yeah, so for that reason, we are underutilized, we are undervalued. So we sometimes even we get so bored where we are working because no one is seeing our worth, no one is seeing what we can bring to the table. So those are some of the reasons why we get burnout. And we will be now just talking about how do you leave that state, because it's not a good state to be in. You don't want to live your life burnt out, overwhelmed, frustrated, and all those negativity. We want to empower ourselves. I tell women, I can see some of my students here. I've seen several, and hi, my students, the ones who came to join me today, you are very welcome. I have seen some of them, and I keep on telling them that sometimes no one will come to pat our back. Especially as a woman, you can wait for so long before somebody comes and appreciates you or tries to help you to grow or something like that. So what do? And that is why I love empowering women. Let us come together and empower ourselves. Probably no one else is coming to help us. And that is why we are here. And what we are looking for is something we call a breakthrough. We are looking for a breakthrough, a sudden advance or a discovery or an achievement that will remove the barrier of progress or that will open us up to new possibilities. That is what a breakthrough is. So in terms of leaving your burnout and going to breakthrough, we are talking about reclaiming your energy, reclaiming your identity. Maybe probably right now you have rested as the admin assistant, finance assistant, because that's where people think that is where we are supposed to live. Admin assistant, finance assistant, communications assistant. It's always an assistant at the end. But we want to say that is not me. That is not where I belong. I have more possibilities, capabilities. I can do more. We want also to break through to creativity, to empower ourselves to be creative, to create the life that we want. We want to be passionate, to learn what is our passion, what is our purpose, and start living a life that is fulfilling to us. And that this process is what we are calling reigniting your spark. From a place where you have been like hidden, like you have covered yourself so that you don't trample on other people. You don't want anybody to be offended by your actions. So for that reason, you have been playing small. But today you want to reignite, to remember. And especially also, you see, today we were trying to focus on ladies from 30s, 40s there. Because why? And if you're here in your 20s, you're welcome. And it is good that you start early to think about these things. Because if I tell you, when we get to these ages of 30s, 40s, late 30s and 40s, we tend to forget who we used to be. So, and I am here to remind ladies who we used to be. Remember that girl who had dreams, who believed that they will do mighty and great things in this nation, who have the leadership capacity and everything. That is the girl I want us to reignite. That is the girl who will win the day. And today is the day we call them forth. We call them to be. And so I want us to start with a declaration that today I am moving from burnout to breakthrough. So I want to see you, please type in the chat, burnout to breakthrough. Yeah, give me that in the chat. Burnout to breakthrough. Quick. And I'm watching the chat. Great. And Kagali, I can see you, Martha, Tapita, Margaret, Christine, Caroline, Fidelia, Jabi, yes, burnout to breakthrough. That is what we are doing today. And we are reigniting our spark. We are taking back control. We are refusing to settle to where we have been put by the circumstances of life. We want to empower ourselves. We want to go to the next level. And I wanted to share with you this quote that drives me from a guy called Ferdinand Foch. And it says, the most powerful weapon on earth is a human soul on fire. Leave alone hizo missiles akina Gaza and Palestine and Israel wanarushiana. There is even a more powerful weapon, a human soul on fire. That is why I came, dear ladies, to put your soul on fire. And I want to fire you up for your dreams. to reach your dreams, to chase them. Chase them with vigor until you reach them. That is what I want to do today. Therefore, a few things we'll be doing. Of course, the topic is reignite our spark. So where do we start to reignite our spark? What is the first thing we are supposed to be doing? One, we need to do a reality check. You know, and by the way, if we do this and you feel like this, whatever we'll be doing here, you answer no, 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 no. Imagine we can even release you. Maybe you are in the wrong place because maybe you have it all covered. You are doing fine. So if you're doing fine, don't waste your time here. So let us first check. Are we doing fine? Or do we need some help? Or do we need to do something on ourselves? So I'll ask a few questions here, and I would like you to use the chat. Just Elizabeth Cabell, please try to see me behind the tent. We can talk about that. Don't be too exhausted even to make a declaration, please. Let's make the declaration first, and then we will talk about exhaustion first. Number one, let us accept where we are. And I want you to tell me, is it a yes or a no? Type in the chat. If you feel that this sounds like you, type in the chat that I am living way below my standards and capabilities. I am not where I thought I would be by now, financially, career-wise, health-wise. I am not. I can see you, Fidelia, Martha, yes, Margaret, Caroline, Mother B, we are all here. That is true. It describes us. Let's go to number 2. I have been playing small, dimming my light, silencing my voice in order to please others. Hata kwa nyumba, by the way. Playing small. I don't want to talk. My in-laws, they say I'm very bad-mannered, or my hubby. Anyone feeling that you are playing small? You are dimming your light. You know who you are. You know that you are able, that you can do marvelous things, but you better be silent not to offend anyone. Number 3, I wake up every day to go to a job or a business that no longer satisfies me or gives me any sense of purpose or joy. We are just going so that at least we manage to pay the bills. But it is not because we are feeling good. And I love those yeses. Jane, Christine, I'm saying all things. Martha, I love these yeses. Keep them coming. The more we admit, the more we will be ready to change. I am overworked, underpaid, and usually overlooked for promotions at work. Hey, who joins me there? Me, I'm there. Shafadari, even me now, I'll type a yes. Yes. Undervalued, underworked, underpaid, everything under. We can do better. We can do better. Final one. Of late, I'm detached, bored, unhappy, and can't wait to get out of this place. Who is that with me there? Oh, yes, we are here. Fidelia, I can see you, Alice, Christine. We are here. And I hope everyone is participating. We are detached. This thing that we have been calling home for the last few years, please, it does not feel like home anymore, but you have nowhere to go. That is what we think, that we have nothing else to do. But today I'll give you some tactics that can help you to start living that mode of life. Thank you very much for admitting. Admitting is the first step. Saying, yes, that is me. That is the first step to start making a change. If you never admit where you are, if you never admit that there is need for a change, you cannot change. And I have 2 quotes here that I love. One from Miles Monroe. If you do anything to do with self-development, you have come across Miles Monroe. Unfortunately, he left us in the year 2014. He has impacted me more in his death than I didn't even know he existed when he was alive. But Even after his death, I've read his books. He continues to inspire me. And he said, you will never change anything that you are willing to tolerate. Dear ones, that job, if it is not giving you sleepless night, what am I still doing here? You are not going to change it. It is still your friend. You still love being in that situation, even if you don't want to hear that. So, if you want to change it, the first thing, be uncomfortable. Be unsettled. Start feeling as if you are seated on a coal, on coals of fire. You need to start moving. You need to feel uncomfortable. Don't make yourself too comfortable, and especially if you're employed by someone else. Don't make yourself at home. Start thinking, am I in the right place? Should I be doing more? Is there anything I can do on the side? Things like those. Then he was joined by Tony Robbins, who said the pain of staying at the same place. Okay, we don't change until the pain of staying at the same place is greater than the pain of change. So you will never change if you have not counted what you are missing by staying at the place you are. If you have never felt that need to change, if you have never pushed yourself to look for something different, for alternatives, then you will never change. So the first thing we do is to admit. Then when we admit, what should we do? That is how things are. Then the other question is, should you remain there? Should you remain there? And I welcome you to do something I did in the year 2014. I've told you that story. I drew a line in the middle of a page of a book, and I wrote, this is my past. These are the things I have been tolerating in my life. Working for somebody nearly 24/7 and earning peanuts, and crying for such a job, crying that I've lost such a job instead of celebrating and looking for the next step. I was crying. So I want you to ask yourself, what are the things that you are tolerating which you'd like this to be the end? Because there is no one else who will come and help you before you help yourself. Before you say, these 5 things or these several things have to come to an end. Debts that you cannot pay. Unalipwa 30th, pesa imeisha by 3rd. Because wewe umekuwa a bill payment machine. You get your small, and if by the way you normally get your pay, you pay the bills and you are left with nothing, then that is a place where I want you to start getting so uncomfortable. I want you to be at a place where even what you earn, you have enough to spend, enough to save, enough even to share with others. So such things, ask yourself, what do I want to leave behind and what do I want to start doing? And I have a few examples here. You can say to yourself that is it. I am done settling. I am done playing small. I am done being stuck. I can do better than this. I am more. I deserve better. I am more than capable of changing the trajectory of my life. This is the declaration you make when you are about to become a great woman. That day you believe it is all upon me and I'm going to take all the power and I'm going to change my life myself. You stop blaming anyone. You stop waiting for rescue. You stop even waiting for help from anybody, even from that boss, even from that husband, even from the relatives. And you decide, I am going to change my life. That is where breakthrough comes from. And then also dedicating this today, because you are here, you say, this is the day I'm taking back control of my life. I am taking full responsibility of my current situation. You stop blaming it on anyone. You take full responsibility and you say, if this situation has to change, I am the only one who will change it. That is the first thing we need to do. Number 2, and I want to go a little bit faster so that I can give you a break. There will be a small break, so don't get tired. Can I know that we are together? Yes, or something on the chat or anywhere. Yeah, we are together. Great. So strategy number 2. So strategy number 1 is we have agreed. We have done a reality check and said, wow, that is me. So what do you need to do next? Look for clarity and direction. Clarity on what? There are a few things here I want you to be clear on. Number 1 is your what or where. What or where is, where are you going with this life? Or in other words, what do you want? Have you ever asked yourself that question? We normally are so good in knowing what we don't want. Yeah, we don't want, we have agreed, I am in a place where I don't like, I go to a job that I don't like, yes, all those things. But what do you want? What is your final destination? Where are you going? And why? Why do you need to go wherever you are going? And when do you want to arrive at your destination? And right now, where are you? Right now, what is your starting point? And what roadblocks are blocking you? So I have a small picture here that reflects a journey of life. When you are coming from where you are and you are going through a journey to success, what does it look like? Normally, it is like you are this lady here. You can see a certain lady there, and you're trying to leave that shanty village, a small village down the road, and your aim is to get at this bright city. This bright city is where your dreams are. It is your dream city. It is where you will say, now I am a success. And then there is this road that you have to go through. It is never a straight road. It is full of ups and downs. That is a road you have to go through. And then when you are on the road, you will face blocks, roadblocks. Here and there will be roadblocks, different types of roadblocks. And also there are diversions. If you are not careful, you will be diverted. You will arrive, and this is what most of us have done. You are going to a city called, maybe you are in a finance like me, so let me use finance, that is the one I know. You are going to a city, career-wise, you are going to a city called CFO, but they give you something here, wakakuita nini, financial controller, those two titles, financial controller or what, and you settled there. That is not the final destination. It is just a diversion, and you are settled. So there are also those small. These are not cities. These are towns, small towns. So that you can settle in. Then we will also be talking about creating bridges. When you start this journey, you can come up to this point and then ask yourself, do I need to go all the way around, or is there a way I can take a shortcut? And I like telling people, when we get to these, I hope you are hearing me. I can see some people have been talking about volume. Can you hear me correctly? Please type a yes. You can hear me, right? Please let me know. Great. Yeah, great. So you can decide, I don't have to go through all these roads by myself. Sometimes there are people who have already gone through the road and they know the shortcuts, and you can talk to them to give you some bridges from here to here. So that is the small journey I want us to be talking about in this coming 1 hour. How do I get from this shanty village to this city? How do I design my own success journey? That is what I want us to be talking about. So let me take you very quickly through those 5 questions. The first question was, what do you really truly want? Where are you going? And I want you to ask yourself, if it is in that job, what kind of a job are you looking for? Because one of the reasons you are settled is because you have no idea what next is it for you. What do you want next? So you have to start asking yourself, which company, which kind of a role do I want? Make it clear. And in the gift that I'll give you, the gift that I've prepared for you, it is, let me just tell you, it is a workbook. And in that workbook, you'll have some spaces to work out these things. I want you to go and get clear. Maybe after this webinar, get clear. What kind of a job am I looking for? Which company am I targeting? Which kind of a role? If I'm looking for money, how much money? What kind of money will make me feel successful? If I'm looking for material possessions, what are those? So that is how you do to design your success city. And once you have determined what it is, you need to know it and see it and visualize it and make it part of you. I remember in that year, 2015, when I started my self-development journey, when now I realized that I can change my life and I started taking steps. The first thing I did was to draw a vision board. And today I wanted to share with you my very first vision board here. I just looked at my life and I asked myself, what am I missing? What do I want? And I started saying, these are the things I want. And I saw them in pictures. For example, I said, if it is a house, this kind of a house. If it is, I needed some plots of land, some money, some side hustle. I needed to know my purpose. I needed a certain car and everything. And as you can see, I gave myself 5 years from 2015 to 2019 to achieve these things. And you can see places I've written done. It is because I achieved them. Every time I was achieving something, I could come and stamp it done. And so I challenge you. You need a vision board. You need to know, where am I going? What am I looking for? If it is money, get as specific as possible about how much you are looking for. And then you'll see, when you are clear on your what, the how shows up. Write that down if you're writing notes. When you are clear on your what, the how will show up. But the problem is we spend a lot of time on the how. Then know your why, your driving force. What will drive you to wake up every day and work towards these goals? What is the reason? And we normally say triple R, reasons reap results. When you have reasons, you will try to get results. So I want to ask you a few questions. Why must you achieve this goal? Suppose you are looking to move career from wherever you are to another level. Why must you achieve that? What is your driving force? And normally it is either a pain you are running away from. For example, I came to know my pain was poverty. I had grown up in poverty. I know what it is to sleep hungry, to lack clothing, to sleep on the floor and all those things. And I really wanted to run away from that. And that pain, not wanting to ever experience such a pain again, is what has remained my driving force. When I remember that if I don't work on my goals, I can end up back where I started. No, I wake up and work even more because I wouldn't like that. For you, what is your driving force? What is it? Is it your children? Is it your status? Is it something? Is it a health issue that you feel? Because it can be anything. Sometimes you get a health issue and you feel it is now or never. So what is it for you? And actually, don't wait for a health issue. Don't wait. If you don't wake yourself up, then life will wake you up in some way or the other. It will give you a trigger to wake up and work on your goals. Don't wait for that. Look for your own. What is my why? Why do I need to achieve these goals? By when? When? Set a deadline. If you have a goal and you have no deadline, you're trying to change that job, but you have no deadline, you have nothing pushing you, then again, it will not be met. A goal helps you, a deadline helps you to remain motivated. It will give you a sense of urgency. It will help you to keep procrastination. It will also help you to measure progress. So do you know why you have been thinking you want to change that job for the last 3 years and you're still there? You never set a deadline. You never told yourself, Yes, I want to move from this company, but you never said by when. So if you are serious about it, go and put a deadline by December 2024. That's the end. And try to do everything you can in between. And you'll see it works. Then you need also to understand you are now. Where am I coming from? This is the process of getting clarity that I'm giving you. Where am I coming from? Before I go to that beautiful city, where am I coming from? For example, if you want a certain amount of money, for example, you say, per month, I want to be earning, let's say, for example, 200,000. First ask yourself, how much am I earning right now? If you want a certain position, how much, which position are you right now? That helps you to know the gap. What is the gap between where I am and where I am going? And knowing the gap will help you to strategize, to look for strategies that will help you to bridge the gap quicker. Then you have to do your self-assessment wherever you are. And this is one big mistake we make, thinking that we are empty, we are powerless, we have nothing wherever we are. But even if it is that journey I showed you, you are moving from a village to a city, even literally. If you don't have bus fare, in that village, there is something you can sell, even if it is something from your garden or something like that, at least to get bus fare. In the same way in life, from where you are to where you are going, where you are is not an empty place. There is something you can pick from there and use it to help yourself. You have strength. You have some skills you have gained along the way. You have talent. You have a passion. You have networks that you have created through the work that you are doing. If you leverage on those, you can try to start moving to where you want to go. When we are talking about where am I, there is a tool we use in coaching that we call a wheel of life. And I wanted to share with you mine, where I started that 2019. A wheel of life is just a round thing that is separated into different sections, and it has this rating number 1 to 10. It is just a rating of 1 to 10. And you ask yourself, in the things that are most important to me, for example, finances, what is my goal? So you have determined, the first step was to determine your goal, where you are going. So maybe your goal is, let's say, 200,000. Then you ask yourself, what am I earning right now? Maybe 50. So 50 from 200, where is it? Maybe it is just a 2 or a 3 or a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. You look at different areas, education. You are looking for getting a master's, maybe. But right now, you only have a certificate. So what is the gap? How can you rate yourself? Why is this wheel of life important? It helps you to gauge where you are going. So for myself, in 2015, I drew one which looked like this. And sorry, I'm just being vulnerable because I want you to see that you can start from totally nothing and get somewhere. So I started with this. Most of my things were not going past level 3. I was there level 3, level 4. But then by the end, the 2019 wheel, I came and filled. Have I achieved the goals I set for myself? Have I bridged the gap? For example, if finances was 200 and I was at 50, have I achieved the 200? And I can tell you with this kind of measurement, there are areas you even surpass. You even surpass whatever your goal was. So when you will be looking at yourself, at your life, you will be trying to think, 5 years from now, what do I want to achieve? Where am I right now? And there is something else I want you also to think about. What are your roadblocks? Why haven't you achieved your goal yet? What is holding you back? And I want you to know, most of the time, if I ask that question, you will tell me, I don't have capital, I don't have time, I don't have people to help me. Nowadays, we say, if you don't have a godfather, you cannot get a job, and so many things. But I want you to know today that most of the obstacles on your way are just you. Wewe. It is not about resources. 80% is only you. And it comes from things like fear, limiting beliefs, inaction. You keep on promising yourself, I'll do this, I'll do that, but you never take any action. You never take responsibility of your life. You don't have focus. You can spend 2-3 hours on social media and you're still telling us you have no time to meet a certain goal. You have no time to go back to school. But every morning, you are spending most of your time even chit-chatting with your friends, with other people. Lunch hour, you waste it all, a whole 1 hour. You eat for a whole 1 hour because you're so comfortable and you're telling us you don't have time to develop yourself. So it is not about things outside you. Can you first work on yourself? Check, do I have some fears that are limiting me? Probably I fear rejection. Probably I fear embarrassment. That is why I don't want to volunteer myself for anything, because I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to fail. Maybe you have some limiting beliefs. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe you can do what it takes. You have self-doubt. You have negative self-talk. And I've talked about the other two. The final one is the resources. And I say this is the least of all. The fact that you don't have time, you don't have money, you don't have people to support you, it is just the least of your roadblocks. And I will encourage you, if you think you have things that are limiting you from getting to your goals, please start talking with people like us. You can talk to corporate staffing. You can come talk to me today. I'll give you my contact so that we start working on this 80%. If you are able to conquer this 8%, then your life would go fast. So please, I want you to know, it is not about the how. Because if I told you, I asked you, why are you still in that company that you're complaining it is not helping you? You will say, now, how do I get another job? How? We use something, we say the tyranny of how. It is not about the how. First, work on these things. And I have strategies that I give people on how to work on those things. Now it is our time to take a small break, maybe 4 minutes break. I will ask my able host, Nancy, to share a link in the chat that we can all use to go and download the workbook I've been talking about. Please make sure you download. You just go and click, and don't worry if it does not come immediately, because if it is so many people trying to access, sometimes it takes a bit of time, but it will be there. It will be there. We are 65 people right now. So if we all try to access it at once, it might be a little bit slow, but it will come. It will come. So please download that as I give Nancy a minute or two. If there's anything she'd like to tell us, as also I take a glass of water. Nancy?
Hey, thank you so much, Mary. So far, so good. Hey, we are learning a lot from this session. They are powerful words for sure. I love the way you are presenting, demonstrating all these things, and we are learning a lot for sure. I think people who are keen and listening to this, they can attest that there are powerful words that if you just follow through, it's going to change lives out here. I'm so sure from tomorrow, from this evening, as we go to our workplace, homes, it's going to be, they're going to be different people. They're going empowered, because the tips that you're giving us are very practical. So thank you so much. Let's download the book. Let me reshare the link here. This is the gift from Mary. If you have received, just type I have received in the chat box. Just type I have received mine. I like the comments. Keep commenting. Keep commenting. Keep commenting. Yvonne is saying, wow, Nzambi, wonderful. Yvonne is saying, powerful nuggets. I like that idea. Akinyi is saying, very true and encouraging. The session is practical. Yvonne eats for 1 hour, for sure. I think we are going to change that after this session. If you have received your gift, just type in, give me a thumbs up, say you've received your gift. We are going to resume. We are not done. We are not done. We are not done. We are just on a small break for you to take a glass of water, but we are not done. If you have received yours, Gambi is saying such a wonderful and eye-opening session. Ati mimi nimemulikwa na and I'm ready to change. I hope you are ready to change, Nzambi. Violet is saying amazing session. People are receiving their gifts. If you have received yours, tell us. We want to know. If you are having any challenges, also tell us. We want to know. Yes, Anne has received, Eunice has received, Martha has received. Mary, I think most people have received their gift. Yvonne, you haven't received what's up? Alice is saying empowering session. I'm in a situation where I really needed to hear this. Thank you so much for the compliment. I hope you're going to be empowered. Most people, I think, have received their gifts. Thank you so much, Mary. Back to you.
Great. Great. I hope we are all back. Thumbs up to show we are all back. I hope you got to download the gift.
Welcome back.
Thank you. If you're not seeing it, please look at
Mary, I think you can take over now.
Okay, are we together? Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why it dragged. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
I was saying, if you can see your gift, please look at your promotions folder. Sometimes it goes there. So I hope everyone will get. So if we are together, let us continue. I was saying, please show me some thumbs up. Let me know we are together, we are moving. Great. Yeah, we are together. Thank you. So we are going now to go very quickly in 2 more points of reigniting our spark. And I said, if you have a question, please put it in the chat. Somebody is picking them and we are going to try and answer them at the end. So strategy number 3. I hope you're taking notes because that is how the only way I can help. I have to go fast because if I told you to come here for a whole day, you won't agree. So because we have very little time, then we also have to go very fast. But if you have a question, make sure you note it down. So we want to go to our strategy number 3 is self-reinvention. Reinvent yourself. And I want you to know something. If you are going to come from where you are and go to another level, you have to change, my dear. You have to change. The version of you that has been stagnant, that has been remaining at that place, that has endured that kind of burnout, and everything, it has to change if you have to go to another level. You need to reinvent yourself. To reinvent yourself is just to change a few aspects of yourself that you don't like. And we all know there are a few things. Maybe I'm too lazy. Maybe I spend a lot of time on social media. Maybe I have settled so much. I've never challenged myself to leave the place I am in. So many other things. You might know that these are wrong things that I've been doing, and you have like tolerated in your life. So self-reinvention is reaching to that point of saying, I want to change. I want to change. I want to become a newer version of myself. And when you are reinventing yourself, sometimes we reinvent ourselves externally. On the outside, you see somebody has changed the body shape, the body color. We have gone to get these things that we pack our face and it gets so smooth. So many things that you do on the outside to change how you look, but we forget the inner man. As you change your outlook, as you go to gym and get to shape and other things, are you working on the inside? Is the inside changing? So there are three things that you need to change if you really want a new version of yourself. That is your identity. Who are you? Your mindset, how you think. And number three, your values. You need to start working on those things. Great. So I have already said that the version of you that is overwhelmed, it's lazy, it procrastinates, it blames others, that version of you is not fit for the journey ahead. It needs to change. And I wanted to give you some certainty. Something that also I have come to know about myself, and it shocked me. I never knew when I was crying over that job I told you about, when I was blaming everyone, when I was so heartbroken. I never knew there is this version of me that can come here and talk to people and they listen. This version was not shown to me by then. And even for you, I believe there is a future version of yourself that you haven't met before. There is that future version of you. And today is the day we want to reignite. We want to call that version. We want to start asking ourselves, what does that version of myself look like? You want to decide, to take this chance and decide, I want to know what this version of myself looks like. What are the things you can do? And I'm telling you, when you start thinking about that, you will find things that you have never even thought about yourself. So how do you reinvent yourself? I've said the first thing is to work on your identity. And this is just answering the question, who am I? Knowing that you are an abled person, you have abilities, you have potential, you have a personality, a unique personality that God created for you to be a certain kind of a person. And I wanted to tell you, this is where your self-esteem comes from, your self-worth, your motivations, your attitude, and even the decisions and actions that you take, they are all limited to the way you identify yourself. Because no one can ever rise above how they identify themselves. It is only you who is putting limits on yourself. If, for example, you have been in a company where you are playing small, you have refused to grow, you have refused to give yourself up for promotions because you feel inadequate, you feel like you don't have what it takes, you allow others to take that glory and to shine when you are hiding your capabilities, your creativity, your ideas, then that identity is what is keeping you behind. That feeling like I am not good enough, that is what is keeping you behind. And that is one area we need to focus to change. Your identity. You need a new identity, what we call self-concept, the way you see yourself. And there are a few points that you need to take. Number one, believe in your abilities. I said none of us is empty. We have strengths, we have knowledge, we have skills, we have a passion, we have a purpose in life. If we were to start working on those things and strengthening them, then we can become a totally new person. Number 2, never give up the power to define yourself. No, never listen to what other people are saying about you. Define yourself and know, who am I? What do I stand for? What are the most important things in my life? Like, do not let other people be the ones defining you. When you define yourself, number 3, use positive words. Talk about yourself positively. And I usually challenge people, if I gave you 2 minutes, if I met you on the street and I gave you 2 minutes and I ask you, by the way, who are you? What kind of words would you use to describe yourself? Are you this person who is burnt out, who is feeling tired of life? Like now, because of the state of economy, we are all feeling frustrated with the politicians and all this. What kind of words would you use? Frustrated, those negative words? Or will you say, I am a blessed person, I am gifted, I have what it takes, I believe in myself? What would you say about yourself? Start saying positive things about yourself. I can, using the word I can instead of I cannot. And remember, your job title is not you. If you are somewhere down right now and you know, especially at these ages we are in, 40s and above, 35 and above, and maybe you hoped at this point I will be a manager somewhere, but you are still being called an assistant. That does not mean anything about you. That is not you. That is just a job title. It is not you. If you take yourself down to be what they are calling you, to be that job title, then you are diminishing your power. And you also note your social status and your possessions. Just because you don't have a Mercedes like everyone else in your inner circle, just because you have not built the house like they have, just because you don't own whatever they own, you don't dress like them, that has nothing to do with your identity. We are all gifted multi-dimensional beings that are created in the image of the Most High God. If you start there, then you can create whatever identity you want about yourself. Your identity is what you tell yourself you are. The way you say, who am I? And if you are to reinvent yourself, that is the first place you look at, because you are always falling back to that. We never grow to chase the things we are capable of chasing. We remain consistent with our identity. If you have never described yourself as, for example, when I was an accountant, I never thought I can be a coach until that day I said, oh, kumbe, I can also coach. So I remained an accountant for so long, never knowing I have another passion and I can grow it and it can become something that can even give me a better life. It is all about changing the mindset and trying to define yourself differently, depending on the giftings that God have given you. Then the number 2, you need to change your mindset, to renew your mindset. A new mind will give you new results. There are 2 types of mindsets. You can have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is the one you believe you're in control of your life. You don't blame. You don't wait for help. You don't tell others that things are not going well. You don't overshare yourself, waiting for gifts or for pity or for things like that. You believe things are not going well and only I has the cure for the situation I am in. That is a growth mindset. A fixed mindset, on the other hand, is thinking that the things are the way they are because that is how they are supposed to be. Resigning to fate. That is how things are supposed to be. There is nothing I can do about that. Why are you still working in this position for the last 5 years? What else can I do? Yeah, I have tried, but it is not working. So I think I will never grow. Things like that is a fixed mindset. And I can tell you, your level of happiness will always be dependent or be driven by the feeling of control. How much you feel you're in control of your life, it is the extent to which you feel happy and satisfied with your life. So do not give away control. Do not think that other people have control of your destiny. You have control of your own destiny. How do you develop a growth mindset? Number one, it is to embrace challenges and see them as opportunities to grow. Embrace challenges. Seek out challenges. Don't stay at the same point because you don't want to fail. Seek out challenges, new things that you need to do with your life, and try them out. If they fail, well and good. But don't stay at the same point. Learn from your mistakes. If you fail, learn from them, and instead of avoiding making a mistake, just do whatever you are doing. Take that risk. If it is a mistake, you learn from it and you go on. If people give you feedback, use it to improve yourself. Don't think people are jealous. All the things we say, they are jealous, they don't like me, and all those things. Just ask yourself, what portion of what they are saying could be true, and can I use it to develop myself? Also, celebrate your progress. It is not always about the end goal. Just try to ask yourself, am I moving? Start a journey and try to see, am I moving? Am I making some steps from where I was to where I need to be? That will be good for you. And collaborate with others to learn from them, from their perspective. Don't avoid people just because you don't want to be challenged. There are some of us here who, even when there is a project at work, a project that can involve people from different teams, you shy away. You don't want to be there because you are just wondering, maybe they will judge me and things like that. But that will see you remaining at the same place. So volunteer yourself. Number 3, how do you reinvent yourself? Establish your values. Know what you stand for. What do you stand for? How do you differentiate from what is right and wrong? Do you know what you prioritize? Do you know the things that matter most to you? And when you start thinking about your values, it will give you that sense of self-esteem, like knowing that I too can stand for something. I'm not the person that people toss from left to right the way they want. I stand for some few principles. What are your principles, my dear, as you listen to me today? Have you ever taken any chance to, or any time in your life, to write them down? To write down, these are my values. These 5 key principles will be my guiding principles, will be the things I have to start by from now onwards. And I've given you some example here. They can be things like integrity, equality, family, commitment, discipline, time management, patience, optimism, resilience, prayerfulness, gratitude, loyalty. What is it that you stand for? Do you have something? So I want you to start. I've seen somebody saying I'm bold and courageous. Yes, let's start there. Let's know, what do we stand for? What will we not compromise? Strategy 4, build bridges. Build bridges. Let me remind you what we are doing here so that we are together. We are trying to reignite our spark, the one that we have let to dim, to go down, because we feel like life has taken so much of our energy. Now we can just give up and die off in our middle age and just wait for the old age. Wait for the retirement. And I'm not like now some of us who are in jobs, and then the Gen Z are coming up. And you look at these guys and the energy they have, and you feel like, oh my God, I don't want to go to compete with these guys. Let me just fold my files here, do whatever retro I can, waiting for my retirement. I came to reignite you. You are not done yet. Actually, the journey is just starting. Somebody told us life starts at 40. So we are just starting. We are hot cake. So please, please do not die off. Do not let yourself go down. Let not anyone tell you at 40 you cannot get a new job. At 40, they will not consider. No. You are just starting. And that is why I came. And I'm telling you, where do you need to start? A reality check. After you have done a reality check, what do you do next? Find clarity. What do you want? Where are you going? Why are you going? When do you want to arrive? What are your roadblocks? Get clarity on those things. Number 3, reinvent yourself. Don't remain the same person forever. The person you have been will not or does not have the ability to go to the other level. So do a few things to raise yourself up. Then number 4, I want you to build bridges. I showed you that that thing. I don't want to go back to it. The journey, and I told you there is a very long journey from where you are now to where you want to go. But you don't have to take all that time. You don't have to go through the whole journey. You can take some bridges that can take you from one point to the other very quickly. What are these bridges? That is what I want us to talk about. Number 1, it is just planning. You are the one who will decide, how can I? Planning is you taking charge of your life and directing where it is going. Setting some steps down, like writing down, yes, this is where I am, but this is where I am going. Have an action plan. And it works like this. Start with a SMART goal. A SMART goal, SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If you have no idea what those things are, please see me behind the tent. And everybody leaves, you remain behind. You can talk about those things. Right now, we don't have time. When you have set your SMART goals, prioritize. What comes first? What goes next? What is most important? What is most urgent? And this depends on what consequences does this goal have. If I achieve it, what impact will it have on my life? If it is a big impact, then that goal, you should give it your first priority. Then you have to write down a few actions that you need to start making to reach your goal. You order those tasks in a viable sequence. What comes first? What should go next? And of course, start taking action on that plan. Number 2, to build bridges, another thing you need is passion. Find your passion, my dear. It can be something you're already doing that you can find your passion in your job. Maybe there is a certain area of your job that you enjoy most. That is what you should be doing more of. You better even go to your boss and ask to be given an opportunity to do more of that, because your breakthrough is hidden in your passion, not in your papers, not in so many other things, the way you think, but in your passion. If you could love what you are doing, if you could manage to do something that you love every single day, I can tell you something like burnout, it will be a word that will never exist in your vocabulary, because you are doing something you love. And that is what I feel when I'm doing this, what I'm doing with you. A passion, even if your job is not offering you a chance to do it, you can do what I'm doing. Do it at night and early in the morning. No one is controlling that. They control you between 8 and 5. But no one will come, Sahi, to go 7 to 9. We are doing something that I enjoy doing. So even you do not say, I don't have time. What do you do in your mornings? I have my clients here who can tell you we meet with them early in the morning, between some even as early as 6, from 6 a.m. to around 9 a.m. because I start my job at 9 a.m. I've already served my passion. Please find your passion. Make it your side hustle. It will make your life, it will bring your life to life, if you understand. Like, it will make you alive. Find your passion. Find something that makes you smile when you are doing that comes from your heart, from deep down. Something that you can do day and night and you're not feeling tired. I never knew I could do this. I never knew I could talk like this. I never knew I could tell people something and they listen. But God had already placed this in my heart, and I ignored it for so long, trying to be an accountant that was never in God's plan in my life. So what is it that is in God's plan in your life? Find it. And now is the time. It will help you bridge the gap from where you are to where you are going. So it is just something you love doing, and you can do it without any effort. It comes effortlessly and naturally in you. Find it and start serving it. Number 3, building bridges, upscale your worth. Upscale your worth. Know what you are worth. And what are you worth? Your worth is always the value you are adding to other people's lives. Even that boss, they don't want to pay you for your papers. You know, we have this misconception that because now, like us accountants, because you have gone all the way to CPK, now you can come and you think you will get any job that you want, even if you are coming there to sleep the whole day. No, you have to add value to people's lives. Whether in that business, wherever you are, if you want to be paid more, add more value. Try to differentiate your service from others. And how do you do that? Number 1, you invest in yourself. And I copy Jim Rohn, who used to tell us, he also is a he passed on his past motivational speaker, some of the people who I follow very closely. Jim Rohn, he told us, work harder on yourself than you work on your job. So think twice if you are giving your job more than you are giving yourself. For you to be better even in that job, you have to keep growing. And I want to challenge you. When is the last time you took a course just to grow your skills, just to develop yourself further? What is the last time you attended a seminar or did something more just to develop yourself? If you're not doing that, you are remaining behind. Then number 2, become rare and unique. How do you do that? Specialize. Go narrow. Don't go wide. If, for example, and I'm using accountants because that is a profession I understand most. I saw we have nurses. I saw we have HR professionals. What I hope you can relate. What I'm trying to say, for example, if you're an accountant, you are a CPAK. Yes, how many CPAKs do we have? What makes you unique? Why should I hire you? What else do you know? So come and tell me, I'm a CPAK who has also specialized in debt collection. I'm a CPAK who has also specialized in tax management. I'm a CPAK. What is it? What more can you give me? Refine your skills. Know something that not everyone has. Being a CPAK nowadays is just like being a Form 4 leaver. Let me challenge my fellow accountants here if I have you here. And it is the same case with so many professions, because now we are at an age where everybody has gone to school. Everyone is learned. So if you are thinking that just having a degree or a certain profession is enough, that is not enough. You have to have an area of specialty and an expertise that is not matched if you are to grow professionally. Number 3, position yourself right. When it comes to positioning yourself right, what we are talking about is being in the right place at the right time. And this watch I'm giving here, this photo, there is a story. I thought I'll get time to share it, but I'm looking at my time is far much gone. There is a story I was listening to in YouTube about a father who was elderly and dying. And he had this watch which he had inherited. It had been inherited in their family line for many, many years. And so he gave to his son as he was about to pass on, and he wanted to teach his son a lesson. So he gave him this watch and told him, can you take this watch to a jewelry store and ask them how much they can pay you for the watch? And he came back and told the father, they just offered me $100. Then he told him, go take it to the pawn shop. Pawn shop is these places where they take things and give loans and things like that, and ask them to how much they will pay. And the pawn shop said $20. Then he told the guy, take it now to a museum and ask them what they will pay. And the museum told him they will pay $370,000 for the same watch. And so the guy came back and told the dad that, and the dad told him, I wanted you to learn a lesson. You can be a valuable item, but depending on where you place yourself, your value can be very diminished. So he was trying to tell the son, position yourself right. You start asking yourself, this place where I work, and I didn't come today to tell all of you to leave your jobs where you're working. That is not my main message. But if you need to leave, you know you need to leave. I don't have to tell you. But I want you to start asking yourself, even if these guys were to pay me maximum, how much is their maximum? There's a place I left because of that question. Yeah, I know I am a CPA, I have all these papers, but even if these people wanted to pay me their maximum, how much is their maximum? And you can tell. So don't blame people that I'm not growing. This company, sometimes they are not the right people for you. There's nothing more they can do. They are giving you the best. So it is upon you to ask yourself, am I positioned right? Number 4, give people results. I've already told you. They are not looking for your papers. They are not looking for your skills. They are not looking for your glamorous stories and everything. They want results. Can you deliver? Yes or no? If you can, we will pay you. That is very important for so many of us because we are going to jobs. You get to work. Your work is to gossip. Your work is to go to social media. Your work is to do everything else but not work. And you're still complaining. These people never promote me. These people never give me good money and everything. Please give people results. That's what they are looking for. Challenge yourself. Am I giving my boss what he's paying me for? Great. Finally, build networks. It's not even the very, very final. Build networks. Networks is just you having a group of people who can support you. Use social media effectively. Be conscious. Even of how people see you in social media. Some of us are professionals, but when you go to their pages, they have posted some pictures. You wonder, is this person really serious? Let me tell you, when you're looking for a job, Nancy here and the corporate staffing people that we have, they can tell you, they will go to your social media. They will see those nude pictures or drunk pictures that you have been posting, or even the matusi, ile you are posting there. Unatusi politicians, unatusi, they will see. And they will say, no, we don't want to be associated with this kind of a person. So digital image is very important when you are networking. Also, look for people who are where you want to go, not where you are coming from. Right now, you might find in your network, all your friends are people who are doing the very same thing you are doing. Your friends in the very same category. Those people cannot help you, my dear. If they knew better, they couldn't be at the same place with you. They could have already gone higher. So look for people who are already higher. Start networking with people who can add value to your life. Attend events, seminars, social gatherings, CPD events for professionals so that you meet the right people who can propel you forward. And when you get someone who you can connect to, create an authentic relationship and learn to follow up. Don't start a relationship and then you go sleep and hope that these people are going to come and give you what you are looking for. You have to be the one following up with that relationship. How to build bridges, number 5, and the most important, the one I want you not to forget. Find a coach or a mentor. And I'm not here just to beat my own drum, but of course I can. Why not? A coach or a mentor is somebody who has been there where you are. They have done that and they know the way forward. If you are to build a bridge quickly to get from where you are stuck to the other point, the person who can take you there faster is a coach or a mentor. And if you do not know where to find any, if you are looking for career mentorship, corporate staffing does that. Please reach out to them and ask them, how can you help me? I would like to move from where I am to another level. Also come to me. That is what I do for a living. Just showing people, these are the steps that you can take to get to where you want to be. let us someone there. Okay. So a coach or a mentor can take you faster where you want to go. And I heard a story. If you are Kikuyu, you must have heard this story. It is a story that we used to be told when we were young. And it can help you see the point of riding on somebody else. So there was this story about the jungle, and I think it is the lion. He had a daughter, a beautiful daughter, and then the animals were fighting who should take this daughter in marriage and things like that. And the king told them, I'll create a banquet, and whoever arrives first is the person who will take my bride. So every animal all animals were lined up, and they were supposed to run very fast, and whoever arrives first is the one who gets the bride. So it happened that the hare was seated next to, or was starting next to a chameleon. And the hare, because he knew how fast he was asking chameleon, what are you doing here? Even you think you have a chance. The way you normally go very slowly, you don't have a chance here. I will arrive before you for sure. And chameleon said, let me try my luck. And just when they were seated there being told, on your mark, get set, go, chameleon jumped on top of the hare. And so the hare ran and ran and ran. And when it arrived at the host place, the seat that the groom was supposed to sit on, the one they had been told, whoever arrives here first is the one who will get the bride. When the hare went to sit, he found chameleon there, and chameleon told him, don't sit on me, I'm already here. So the chameleon was the one who got the bride. This story just tells us you can be poor in some areas, you can be weak in some areas, or you can be slow in some areas. But if you got a faster person to push you ahead, then you can still achieve all your goals very quickly, very fast. So I wanted just to tell you that there is that opportunity working with a coach or a mentor. And I'm promoting corporate staffing here. Why? I want to tell you a small story also, and I'm so sorry about our time, maybe 1 minute. I started this journey, for example, every time I was looking for a job, the first place I landed was corporate staffing. And I remember there is a time I was really struggling, and I used to go to these ladies, Akina Nancy, there, the ones who used to be there. I could even go to the office and tell them, I've come to just ask for a job. And they will tell me, go back home. When we get a job, we'll call you. And I got so tired. I started asking to see their boss, Mr. Pamina Swainaina. And I got so insistent. And even though I never met him at that point, I retained my dream of ever meeting him and ever talking to him. And so just recently, maybe like 5 years, when I saw I'll never get a chance to meet him, I started attending his training. So whenever they had a training, a leadership training, an emotional intelligence, whatever, I attended, and I just tried to get a hearing with him. And I can tell you, this man has brought a lot of blessings in my life. And you can see where we are now. He can even give me his platform. That is what a coach, a mentor, somebody who is above you can do for you. So I want to encourage you. If you're somewhere and you need to go to the next step, please look for somebody who is already doing what you want to do and ask them, how is this done? And they will show you the step that they took, and you can take the same steps. And if you are thinking things like this I'm doing, you see, if somebody agrees to give you their platform, some of you, I could never have met you, wasn't it for this platform that I've been given. So a mentor, a network, the right people in your circle, it is a very important thing. My dear friends, that is what I had prepared for you today. Just to remind you what we were doing, we were reigniting our spark, so we stop being burnt out and we get a breakthrough. And we have covered 4 strategies: reality check, finding clarity and direction, reinventing yourself, and building bridges. And the bottom line, we are saying don't settle for less than what you deserve and what you are worth. That is the end.